The United States has 61 protected areas designated as national parks. The national park designation is often used interchangeably as a label for all of the 400-plus National Park Service units. Among the other designations are national monuments, battlefields, memorials, historic sites, recreation areas, and others. But the 61 areas specifically designated as national parks are widely considered the grandest and most impressive landscapes in the country. Congaree National Park is one of the least known, and it's not hard to see why. There are no hotels, lodges, restaurants, or impressive overlooks. This is an intimate park, not a vacationer's paradise. Congaree protects roughly 26,000 acres of central South Carolina, the largest tract of old-growth bottomland hardwood forest left in the United States. The lush trees growing in this floodplain forest are some of the tallest in the eastern United States, forming one of the highest temperate deciduous forest canopies remaining in the world. Much of the surrounding landscape was logged over the past 150 years. In the 1950s, recognizing the biodiversity and unique characteristics of this floodplain, two local journalists, Harry R.E. Hampton and Peter Manigault, began advocating for the preservation of the remaining floodplain. As a result of this advocacy, a 1963 study by the National Park Service reported favorably on the establishment of a national monument. No more progress was made in the 1960s, however. Renewed logging efforts in 1969 prompted the formation of the Congaree Swamp National Preserve Association. By 1975, the group had managed to convince the senators for the state of South Carolina to introduce legislation for the establishment of a national preserve. On October 18, 1976, legislation was passed to create Congaree Swamp National Monument. Congress later redesignated the monument as Congaree National Park on November 10, 2003. Incredible biodiversity exists in Congaree National Park. Waters from two rivers sweep through the floodplain, carrying nutrients and sediments that nourish and rejuvenate this ecosystem and support the growth of national and state champion trees. Forested wetlands, oxbow lakes, and slow-moving creeks provide ample habitat for fish, birds, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, insects, and other aquatic life. A variety of tree communities are also represented across the landscape, with dominant tree species ranging from upland pines along the elevated bluffs to bottomland trees such as bald cypress and water tupelo within the floodplain. Today the park remains in a mostly natural state, with Waterways Trails being the best for exploration of the wetlands. The easily accessible boardwalk trail is the most common means to explore Congaree, but many backcountry trails lead to more isolated sections of the forest. Keep in mind the park is relatively small, and depending on your specific interests, you may find limited ways to explore the terrain. Quick visits are common, while visitors who want a fuller experience will need to venture out into the wilderness. But no matter how you visit, remember, the mosquitoes are a major concern, so make sure you prepare for them.